Good morning, Mr. Seastrong. Do you have a lawyer today? Tell me what you're doing about that.
I'm not able to afford one.
Why not? When is the last time you've had a full-time job?
Company went out of business in February. I've been door dashing.
So you are working.
What? It's not enough to afford because I got my kids. I don't have enough to afford a lawyer from what I make from door dash.
How much money do you make a month?
Probably barely 300, maybe.
How much?
Barely 300.
300 what?
Dollars.
What? A day? A week? You make $300 a month. I don't believe that for a second. How do you eat? How do you survive?
I stay with my wife. My wife.
So your wife works.
Yes.
What does your wife do?
She does assistant at an apartment facility.
How much money does she make a month?
She just started, so I'm really not sure. It's probably been about 3 weeks or so.
Why do the people of Harris County get to pay for a lawyer for you when you don't do anything? How's that fair? Why you get to sit at home, play Xbox? Well, why do the people of Harris County get to pay for your lawyer? How's that fair? You're able-bodied. There's no reason why you shouldn't be working. You need a job.
Yes, sir. I work. I take care of my kids. We just got
No, but you're not taking care of your kids. No, kids need food. They need clothes. Not just love. They need physical things as well. And if you're not pulling your weight, then you're not helping your kids. Your wife is helping your kids. What conditions did we put on Mr. Seastrong, please? I'm sorry if you don't like what I'm telling you, Mr. Seastrong, but I'm telling you the truth. How old are you? You're 39 and you make $300 a month. That's silly. And it's a shame.
I work for one out of business.
Then find something else.
Have been.
Do you know that there are so many companies out there that are begging for workers that are willing to pay you $15 to $20 an hour for you to work? Amazon, Starbucks. There's so many other places that are begging for workers because they just don't have enough. I'm not gonna no. I'm making it a condition of your bond now that you get a full-time job. And I'm bringing you back in 2 weeks to see what you have done. But as far as what you get to hang out and do nothing all day, and then I have to pay for your lawyer too? You want a back rub too? No. I will give you an application. I'm going to send it home, and then I'm going to bring you back in 2 weeks, and I want to see what you've done to get a job. If you've done nothing, then life's not going to go well. But it's not fair that we all here, I mean, I might as well just give you my wallet now. That's what we're doing.
And Your Honor, I may previously had a bond of no driving because the defendant expressed he had no insurance. So you add include that as well, no driving.
I hope you are not driving, Mr. Seastrong.
I was able to get insurance from.
You are supposed to get court approval first before you drive, and you signed.
I got insurance a few days after we left from here. You told me not to drive without getting it.
Deputy Anderson, can you get that piece of paper, please? Sorry, guys. Just a moment now. Can you hand that to him? What does that say?
No driving without insurance approval.
Man, don't play Helen Keller. No driving without valid liability insurance and court approval. Do you want to go to jail? Don't. drive. All I'm asking you to do is follow the law, Mr. Seastrunk. I don't give out lawyers like it's candy on Halloween. And I expect you to pull your weight. And I don't care if you don't like what I'm telling you, but sometimes in life, someone needs to put you over their knee and tell you this is how things need to go. And you at 39 need to grow up and pull your weight. Start working. Don't be a bum. Can you give him an application? And we will see you back in 2 weeks. And then can you file conditions, please, that he must get a full-time job, please? That way. All right, you ready?
Hey everybody, welcome to American Courts tonight. We got a bunch of Fleischer, we got some Judge Middleton, and that's about all we got for tonight. We're trying to get ready for a storm, so things are a little bit busy. Thank you everybody for coming out. We got a pile of people here. We got Amanda Panda, Nan, Throw the Goat. We got Maiko, Fozzie, Emily, Jay, Linus. We got a whole pile of people. Carla's here. Allie took off on us. She run off on us looking for some Haley news today. We're going to jump on to a Judge Middleton one. That way we can get into some Judge Fleischer and liven it up some. But this is Judge Middleton. Small claims court. So here we go.
All right, we're going to operate, at least for beginning, from the form that Ms. Large filed called a complaint for money damages. Essentially, it looks like this. You see that? Yes. All right, who's gonna provide the testimony? Ms. Large, or are you gonna do it, Mr. Large?
Wife can do it. That's fine.
All right, Linda, you're there at your desk.
Yes,
Here you claim rent is $1,062, May 2024 till June 15th to June 22nd. Ms. Henschel, do you agree with that or disagree?
yeah, the rent though wasn't paid because of a hot water issue.
All right, well, we'll get to that, it's the abatement part, but so that number is okay, 1,062.50. And then you've got water and sewer, 185.95. Is that still accurate, Ms. Large?
No, it's not, Your Honor. The water bill from March 6th to May 6th was $185.95. Then we were going to estimate it, but after I did the paperwork, we got the bill for the next one, which was 5/7 to 7/7. But and that was $199.38. But I gave her credit for $14 because it was $14 more than the previous bill, and she did have a water leak. I also gave her credit for 13 days because they moved out on June 22nd. So I came up with an additional $142, and that comes to about $328 due on the water.
Once again, Ms. Henschel, you have a disagreement about those bills. You can see that's what they were, but you've got some defenses. All right, now next we've got dump fees and labor. 3 times 68. Is that, what was that, trips to the dump?
Yes.
Yes, it was the dump fee.
And labor 205.95.
No, altogether it was we charged $300 and almost $56.
355.95. All right. Door locks 74.18. Back screen door handle, 1271. Tell me about that.
It was gone. It was ripped off the door, Your Honor.
Cleaning and odor eliminator, 7015. What's that?
Carpet, for the carpet in the house there. It was so saturated with pet urine. We tried that and we couldn't get rid of the smell, so we had to replace all the carpet and all the padding.
All right, we'll get to that in a minute.
All right.
Window screen in the kitchen, 34351.
There was 3 screens missing and we had to buy 3 screen kits.
Carpet and padding. So you tried to clean it, it didn't work, so you had to replace it.
Yes.
882.96. Lights and globes. 65.95. Replace 2-bedroom doors, hinges, doorknobs, and door closers. What happened there? The doors were destroyed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Basement window, 55. And then your labor to repair the doors in the backyard.
We hired somebody to help us also. That was labor for Bobby Wright, $230. And
Oh,
then,
yes.
and then Garth's labor. There's another broken a hole punched in a closet door upstairs. The 3 exterior doors, I guess they tried to break in. They were all busted up.
All right, well, let's add this up.
Okay.
Then we'll hear from Miss Henschel. 1062.50 in rent. 062.50. The defendant agrees with the amount, but disputes the need to pay at 328.28. 139078. Rent and utilities are 139078. Then we've got $355.68 plus 7418 plus 1271 plus 7015 plus 4351 plus 882.96 plus 65.95 plus 189.82 plus 55 plus 230 plus 472 equals 2,451.96.
Something's missing. I
What'd
came
you
up
say,
with
Your Honor?
3,000 and then.
Yeah, well, I haven't added the other figure to it.
Okay.
Plus
Gotcha.
1390.78 is 3,842.74. And Ms. Henschel, do you agree the security deposit was 700?
Yes.
I thought I paid 14.
No,
Well, it says 700 and first month's rent, 1,400 is
Okay.
what the lease said.
Okay.
So we subtract 700 from that. And it's 3,142.74.
Okay.
That number is different than what was in the pleadings because there was additional utility cost. All right, now Ms. Henschel, you disagree with that figure. And your answer says, I think their calculations are off, what was wrong, and what they did at the house is untruthful. I sent pictures as to why rent and water was withheld. So there is an issue that can arise in landlord-tenant cases called abatement, that the rent could be abated because there are issues with the house. That doesn't cure things like broken windows or locks or carpeting or
Right.
trips to the dump, but it might affect rent. So Ms. Henschel, you gave us a bunch of pictures and I've looked at them, but I don't completely understand them. So tell me what you want me to know.
Well, that's just from the hot water heater that had busted. I believe I messaged her on May 17th and let her know that the hot water heater had busted and did some damage to all the things that were in the basement. And just basically said that that happened. And then I was going to try to have somebody come look at it, which I did. My dad came and looked and said that it was busted. And I obviously didn't have money to have anybody pay for it. So I called the landlords to have them come fix it. They were not in town, said that they would be back a week later, Saturday. So that's kind of where that came from. I didn't know.
All right, well, hold on a bit. So the water heater broke and leaked, so it didn't heat water and it leaked water in the basement.
Yeah,
And there's a bunch of wet pictures.
and
So
from
they were out of town when that happened.
yeah, and
When they came back, did they fix it?
well, it leaked also from under the sink in the bathroom. So that's where all the wood in the basement and then mold. When they came back, it fixed, but then mold was still there, so that's why.
All right, so
That's what
did they put in a new water heater?
they did, but that didn't fix the mold or anything. That's why I didn't pay rent because we didn't know if we had to leave because of health reasons.
All right, so how long were you without hot water?
It was probably week and a half, 2 weeks.
It was
Mr. or
nine-
Mr.
it
Lodge,
was-
you know,
It was 9
she
days.
said
That week,
5/17,
yeah,
you replaced it on what day?
Pardon me?
What day did you replace the water heater?
Oh, gosh.
Well, Linda knows.
Yeah, let's see. Well, look, can I go back and explain some things, please?
No, at this
No?
point, we'll come
Okay.
back to that, but
We came back on Saturday. I called her right away. She wouldn't let us come in the house until Monday, which was a week later.
no, that's not.
Yes, that is.
stop. Only one person can talk at a time.
And we went on Monday night and we did determine it wasn't just the leak under the sink. It was also the hot water heater. And Garth was there at 9 o'clock the next day. It took him 2 days to get that repaired.
Also, that's not about me not letting her come in there. They didn't come until Monday. They didn't ask to come prior.
All right, so anyway, it was replaced 9 days later.
Which it was.
Right, what was the issue with water under the sink?
The water heater got so hot it melted a little plastic piece, and it flooded the whole time. I tried to turn it off, and then it just like leaked.
Well, I see water in the basement.
And that-
What did it do to your possessions?
It just, everything was wet and got ruined. But
Well, the stuff looks like it's in plastic tubs.
well,
So,
a lot, not all of it. There was other stuff that was down there, like photo. I mean, it's gone now. It's irreplaceable. That's the point. Is just the mold, really, and the stuff's irreplaceable.
all right, well, how much did you lose for possessions in the basement?
I don't know. I mean, it wasn't monetary. It was,
Did you have renter's insurance?
I did not, but that was not about money. That wasn't the,
Okay.
it wasn't monetary. Like I said, it was nothing money could replace.
All right, now you show me a bunch of other pictures, like the toilet sitting on a piece of fiberboard and some other things. Then you show me the bathtub and the sink.
Yeah.
What do you show me there?
That was just blood that he left behind for us to clean up after he was done.
Oh, after he replaced the water heater, cut himself?
Yeah, just, I mean, just like, I don't know. Just,
Well, the tub is very dirty.
yeah, that's from the toilet being in there. And
All right. What else, Miss Henschel?
yeah, basically that's it from the rent, and then the water leak. And then, I mean, obviously there's going to be some damages here and there. I just, not $3,000 worth of damages.
Well, they've got receipts and quotes and
Yeah.
legitimate rationale for it. Now, you have kids. Your kids must be teenagers by now.
Yeah,
How many kids were living there?
just my son and daughter. But I mean, some of the to the house, like screens and stuff, they weren't even there. I mean, some of the stuff wasn't even there when I moved in.
All right, so you're saying that these 3 kitchen screens were not there when you were there?
Yeah, I mean, like some of the stuff to the house wasn't even there when I was there. So like, the house wasn't
All
even
right,
up to par when
just a minute. Miss Large, what do you say about that?
What about the 3 screens being
She says the
missing?
3 screens were not there when she moved in.
We
Not-
had screens on all of the windows.
Incorrect.
It's
Incorrect.
her turn to talk.
And she keeps bringing up the mold. She actually didn't give us a chance to get someone else even to come and fix it. She said she would take care of it, and she never got back with us, never called us again. She actually called Joe, the inspector, and Joe called me and we talked, and I told her she was concerned because of it may be causing mold and it might be bad for her health. And Joe said no, that there would not mold from it. Number one, the mold from there would not cause any health issues.
Well, I disagree, but
Well, that's what he told me.
all right, well, I don't think he's a mold expert. I wouldn't want to live in a house with mold in it, but try to remediate it. All right.
And if I could just say, I never said I could take care of mold. I'm not a mold specialist. I called my landlord.
Did you tell them that you were not paying the rent because the water heater and the mold?
No, I said I couldn't pay the rent because I didn't know if I should have to move because of health. I had pneumonia as well at the same time. So I didn't know if I needed to move, like get out of there for health reasons. Yes, I was nervous. Yeah.
Well, I mean, there are simple things you could do yourself, like spray bleach and that sort of thing down there, but so did you move in part because of this?
Well, that goes back as well because she said that she was going to sell the house and then we needed to leave. And then when she came to fix the hot water heater, she told us that we had to leave as well. So it's kind of like a hot mess wrapped up all in one.
All right. Miss Large, you indicated there was something you wanted to tell me, like background information. What else did you want me to know?
It was about the mold and talking to Joe, and yes, I had asked her 2 or 3 months prior. I told her that we were considering selling the house and we needed to get into it. I wanted to give her some time to find another place, But then when she didn't communicate with me and called Joe, I just decided it was time. I'd already given her 2 or 3 months. It was time to give her a notice, a 30-day notice.
I'm
And
so,
she did have other people living there also, which she never told us about. Her boyfriend and her ex-husband after he got out of the probation center, which she's supposed to let us know because it says right in the rental agreement, it could raise their rent or cause an eviction.
Premise shall be occupied only by the following individuals. We understand we need prior approval to add in individuals which may increase the rent. This agreement may be terminated immediately. Tenant may accommodate guests for reasonable periods up to 7 days. Other arrangements require landlord's consent. Only a tenant may use the mailing address. Allowing someone else to use it will increase the monthly rent. So it's Megan Henschel and 2 children. All right. Ms. Henschel, what else did you want me to know?
I guess that's pretty much it. I don't.
All right. Ms. Large, was there a city inspection of this premises?
Yes,
And was it current at that time?
yes. Also, Your Honor, we don't have any forwarding address from Miss Henschel either.
I don't have an address.
Well, Ms. Henschel, what triggers the security deposit law is when you move, you're supposed to give your keys and turn.
I did. I left the key. I left the keys on the
And
station.
give your forwarding address in writing within 4 days of your moving. But we're gonna apply the security deposit to this.
Okay.
So rent was $850 per month, $700 per month.
So $850 per month, Your Honor.
The rental amount for the property shall be $700 per month. Following the 15.
Yeah, I attached
So that-
some notices where we increased the rent over the years
All
that
right,
she
so-
was there.
So the rent was at that time $850. Megan, do you agree with that?
Yep.
April 14th of 2023. All right, and this was in May. There's 31 days in May. $850 divided by 31 is $27.40 a day times 9 days. $246.89. And when did you vacate?
I think it was the 22nd of July.
Is that okay? Vacated 7/27.
She vacated on June 22nd.
Or June
All right.
2nd. I'm sorry.
2/22. All right. So she had a water bill, 185. So what was it normally per month, Miss Large?
185.95, and then the next one was $199.38. So I subtracted the difference of $14.
All
And
right,
then
well,
I did,
this period, it was 189 and 189.95. So we'll divide that by 31
right,
equals $5.99 a day. We'll call it $6 a day. Times 9 days. $54. All right. The rest of these things, the screens are he said, she said. I'm just gonna divide it in half, 43.51. 21.75. And the rest of these things all appear to be expenses that the largest had to pay. Now, she claims she returned the keys. You say she did not. Miss Entschel, what did you do with the keys?
I set them on the stairs or the floor, one of the two. On the stairs.
Did you ever recover any keys when you went into the house?
No,
They were on the stairs, up on the side of the stairs.
Well, you didn't otherwise comply with it by giving your forwarding address in writing, and you're not clear on where you left the keys. I'll leave those there. So you're entitled to 9 days. In fact, I'm eliminating your whole rent. $246.89 plus $54 for water plus $21.75 I took off of the screens. $322.64. If we subtract that from our damage figure of $3,142.74 minus $322.64. $3,142.74 minus 322.64 equals $2,820.10. Essential, that's how much you owe.
I'm sorry, how much was that again?
I'll give it to you here. 3,000. $2,820.01.
Okay.
Plus court costs, $83.50 plus $40.67 equals $124.17 in cost. Plus 282010, 2,944.27 for the plaintiff. You have a right, well, you don't have to do anything for 21 days. If the judgment was not paid within 30 days, they can start collections. So you have 21 days to appeal it. Can you make some sort of monthly installment payment?
Possibly, yes.
How much?
I don't know.
All right, I'll just leave it. They can then pursue a judgment. They can do a discovery subpoena. They can garnish your wages.
I can
They
do
can't.
$50.
How much?
I don't know, 50.
I don't think that's acceptable. That would take 100 months to pay this off. Well, let's divide it by. Two, 944.27 divided by 24. Be about $123 a month to pay it off in 24 months. That's what Judge McManus used to do, is divide it by 24 months. But I'll just leave it as a judgment. Mr. and Mrs. Large have got judgments before. They can attempt to collect by garnishing wages, seizing property. I'm assuming you won't accept $50. If you will accept $50 a month, I will, but that's normally less than.
No.
All right, then we'll just leave it as a judgment. Ms. Henschel, I don't have your address.
I don't have an
Um,
address.
I-
I'm homeless right now. From
All right,
having,
where do we mail this?
I'm working on getting a PO box. I was trying to buy a house
All right,
and
well,
judgment.
all right, then you're gonna have to come to the court and pick it up.
I can definitely do that.
Or call the court with an email address
I can do
and
that.
we'll email you a copy of it, okay?
I will do that.
All right, Mr. Large, if you go out to the counter, we'll give you a copy of the order. She'll clean it up. And you got a copy of the pictures. I got a copy of the pictures. I made my ruling. Ms. Large, I hope the storm doesn't hit Sanford too badly. You must be apprehensive, so good luck.
Thank
And,
you.
Keep your head down. All right,
Thank you, Your
thank
Honor.
you. All right, Miss.
All right, I'm gonna bail on that one. That's a odd one there. She tore up the place and raising all kinds of hell, and then wanted to argue over little $5 and $10 trinkets. Linus is trying to get to Houston. We put up the link for the GoFundMe. If you can help her out, help her out. A lot of things going on in the world, but if you got a few dollars, Linus certainly wants it. We're gonna go to Judge Fleischer. He had a couple of good ones today. I didn't get to see much of them. Was too busy doing the mod thing, but here we're gonna go jump on one of those.
That's out of your pocket. I understand you're trying to hold up your pants, but you can hold them up. Just don't keep your hands.
Back are we? Are you on something right now, Mr. Akers?
No, I'm stressed out. I'm like, I come from I was gonna talk as a show of respect, but come from like the kind of break. I'm sorry.
Mr. Akers, you stand charged with the offense of criminal mischief. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you.
Yes, Judge. Officers were dispatched to Houston Recovery Center in Harris County, Texas, in response to a welfare check. Earlier that day, the defendant had been dropped off at the center and became very angry. The defendant began yelling and throwing his shoes at the staff. The defendant walked into a room and closed the door. While inside, the defendant punched the glass door, shattering it. The defendant was also throwing things around the room and hit his head against the wall and the doors. The defendant also urinated in the corner. The complaining witness estimates the cost to repair the glass door to be $1,000 at the Houston Recovery Center.
I would imagine that he's just not welcome back there. Have you?
I spoke with the recovery center. They said that he's now on a no admission list.
Right.
Mr. Akers, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with you because I'm sending you now for a drug test. I want to know what, if anything, is in your system and how we're going to proceed forward. Look at me.
Now that like I have drugs in my system. And
Yeah, it's time to stop. You are so geeked out now on something. What?
stress, my life is stress. I know I messed up. Like what you see of me is remorse for doing something I know is stupid. And like
I want you to listen to me, and I want you to listen well. I will give you but one opportunity to get off the dope by yourself. If I find that you're using whatever it may be, I'm going to put you in a rehab facility in the jail. I will give you one opportunity to try to get off these demons yourself. But if I find that you continue to use, I'm going to keep you with me. No more dope. I'm sending you now for a drug test. You must take the test and come right back. If you fail to take, look at me. If you fail to take the test, if you fail to come back, I will take away the PR bonds and I'm going to make your bond extremely high. You have to understand, you don't, unless you do, I would imagine that you have no one that's willing to pony up $5,000 to get you out. Am I right? Consider that when you're out there in the free world, because if I put you in jail, even at $1,000 bond, you probably don't have anyone that's going to make it. You're going to sit there. Make wise choices. You get one opportunity. Are we clear? Okay. I want to send them. We'll have them come right back and we'll go from there. And then can you reach out to the microphone, please? All right. Can you please file the conditions? Well, don't worry. Don't even worry about it. So no going back to the Houston Recovery Center, no weapons.
Page 5.
Oh, I was thinking of something else. Battaglia. Studio.
Yes, Judge. May I approach her? I've got Mr. Quayle here. And I think we're here on a bond violation. He's got some, I believe, some curfew issues.
Mr. Cuello. Not happy with you.
Sure of your blown tire. Judge, is your honor in receipt of the BVR, Judge, or do you want me to? Go ahead? Okay. Judge, my client is, the court allowed him to do the BIT program to resolve his case. He's done that. I've seen proof of that. He's taken all his classes as on schedule. This violation is one single GPS violation. He came home a little bit late, 40 minutes past his date of 10 p.m. curfew. My client says that he had a flat tire on that night and it delayed him from getting home on time, Judge.
Show me proof that you had a flat tire.
My phone was dead and I should have took.
Oh yeah, what else? Did you get abducted by aliens too?
No, sir,
That's all I'm waiting for now, man.
So it wasn't. It was unfortunate. It was the day of my birthday dinner and everyone had left.
Who are you with?
I was just with one of my friends.
They don't have a phone either?
Well, they had left. They had left early. Because he was planning on my other friends to go out somewhere. So
You got to understand, Mr. Cuellar, that when bad things continue to happen And when people continue to tell me, and the example that I like to give is, I've got 4 kids. My kids mess up a lot. And when my son does something wrong, I try to teach him right from wrong. And I say, look, bud, this is the way you do this. Okay, Dad. Now he makes the same mistake again. I'm like, I already told you. Why are you going to keep doing this? And then they make it a 3rd time. And then they do it a 4th time. When you continue to mess up and when you continue to tell sorries, the value of that sorry is 0, has no value. Your case is 1,103 days old, and you continue to tell sorry to us for missing court. You continue to tell us sorry for having to let you go out on bond, to give you the opportunity to get this case dismissed. I asked one thing from you. What?
I will go to my
What value does your sorry have to me?
None, sir, but I'm saying I'll go to my house earlier, like 8 p.m. That way there's no way I can violate the bond or anything. I'm not.
I mean, at this point, I don't know what we're gonna do. I mean,
I understand the court has been very liberal with Mr. Quayle, but he is doing what the court gave him leave to do. I've just got a progress report, as a matter of fact, earlier this week. All his BIP courses are on session. Everything's going good. It's 42 minutes past his curfew, Judge. If Your Honor could
Let me
just.
ask you this.
I've been applying to jobs too, sir.
Let me ask you this.
Yes, Judge.
And I will make you one deal on this. If I drug test you now, what are you gonna test positive for?
Well, we had talked about the drug test.
Nope.
I'm gonna get drug tested in 45 days. You told me that, and I told you that I was abuser. Like I smoked because I had a bad back.
When is the last time you took a test, Mr. Quayle?
The 7th. Whenever I had my ankle monitors put on, so 30 days, I think.
Your Honor, to give him a date that you would test 45 days.
They was like,
I have to look, Judge.
Yeah, and I told you that I was gonna be positive.
This is supposed to be October 21st.
okay,
October 21st.
date of this test?
The next test is.
2 weeks, Judge. And Your Honor did say that, give him that date because he did admit to the court that he was a habitual smoker and was gonna stop, but Your Honor gave him some time to get that out of his system.
I'm just counting on now. I hope that you have not smoked at all.
No, I haven't, sir. But whenever
Don't, excuses have 0 value to me.
and whenever I went to get
Mr.
cleaned
Quayle.
up, I'm not getting excuses, sir.
I'm only asking you 2 things, 3 things. Show up to court, don't use dope, and do your classes and abide by the conditions. If you ever fail again, so you understand. If you have the slightest inkling that you're going to go out, something is going to mess up to get you home late, don't go. Stay home. I won't entertain any more excuses. It's absolute strict compliance from now on. That's it, Mr. CDO.
0 tolerance.
And then we will again test him on that date and go from there.
Thank you,
Okay.
Judge.
All right, guys.
Thank you, Judge. And on that job fair, I'm gonna be there too.
I'm going to be there. So don't toy with my emotions.
No, sir.
Don't play with me, Smokey. Mr. D.
Yes, sir, Your Honor. Your Honor, I am here on Mr. Timothy Akers. It's my understanding that the court may want to impose some conditions.
Come up, Mr. Akers.
Judge, Ms. Rachel.
Phosphorus or THC amphetamines, ecstasy.
Shocking.
Exactly fine, sir.
It stops today. You will be required to come here every Monday and Thursday to take a drug and alcohol test. The next time you test positive for meth, ecstasy, what else? Amphetamines, phencyclidine, whatever it is, you're going to stay with me. And I will put you in a rehab facility myself. Do you understand? I'm giving you the opportunity to stop using drugs now on your own. If you're incapable of doing it on your own, then you will be doing it with me. So you need to do whatever you can to stop using dope. Are you high right now?
I'm freaked out.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Akron?
Social Security discipline.
How do you really get money?
Social Security discipline.
How are you going to stop using?
I have I'm a simple person. You know, I understand the gravity here. It's like it's not,
And I'm having a competent examination prepared for him. He's informed me that he has mental issues, that he's been institutionalized.
It's
at
all,
various-
Mr. D, it's all because of one reason and one reason only.
I understand.
And I'm going to tell you now, if you continue to use the dope, you have little synapses in your brain, right? Do you know what a synapse is? Okay, you have these little wires in your brain. And if you continue to use dope, those wires, instead of the electrodes, they're going to jumble, they're going to get all crazy and just.
they fill up and they overflow. They can't receive. They can't receive. I'm
If you
familiar with that.
continue to use dope, you're going to start having psychosis, paranoia, and it only leads and ends up worse. You need to stop now before you hit the point of no return. Do you understand?
Sure.
Do you have any health insurance?
Check it. My food stamps, like I give this one back. Yeah.
Where you live now? Who do you have in your life?
I have in my life.
Who do you have in your life? Okay, you haven't found Jesus yet, so who else do you have in your life? Who?
That's it. That's it, man. I got Jesus.
How old are you?
I'm 40. Getting ready to be 41.
You're 41. Where's mom and dad?
They died over a decade ago.
Who else do you have in your life that can help you out?
Me. I come here to try to figure things out because things weren't going well. In Missouri, I didn't have nothing there. I came here. It's been over a year. I've had a lot of things stolen from me, so it's been really hard to try to reboot. It's just like it's bad times. So like, I don't know what else to do. I mean, I understand the gravity of the situation. I really wish I had not done that, but like.
That's the fact of the case.
All right,
Mr. Akers, how do we go forward? How on earth are you going to be able to stop without me having to put you in jail?
I have the ability to. I'm not that addicted. I mean, it's a matter of I see that.
When is the last time that you've not used?
Honestly, it's more of a current issue. I haven't. I never was. It never was a drug of choice. So like, sort of reason. So like, and it's not gonna be a trouble. That big of an issue, though. I mean,
Are you tired of feeling like this?
tired of feeling this. I don't understand how to phrase the question. I just what I want is try to finish this, move on from here, because like I've been I just got to a place, found a place that has showers for homeless, and I had to go get an address. I have things I've had trouble with the homeless that give help because when I go, because I have the social security check. They people find me.
Trying to go. I'm gonna try to find you a place where you can crash.
I'd rather not. Can I just? Can you give me the week? I mean,
Gotta cut off these streets. Yeah.
You're doing your things your way, and it's not been going well. And if you don't realize that, then I'm here to tell you that you don't look good. You're not acting well. And it looks like you're either high right now or you're coming down. And I'm telling you that you're slowly killing yourself. And I'm seeing you deteriorate in my eyes. And in the last year and a half that you and I have known each other, you were deteriorating. The last time you were here, you had more teeth than you do now. What's going to happen in a year?
Like things have not jumped.
So listen. It stops now.
Sure.
No more dope. I will see you here on Thursday for you to take another drug test. And you will test every week with me. The next time you test positive, I'm going to keep you. So I'm giving you the opportunity to stop on your own. If you fail me, then you will stay with me. Do you understand? I'm giving you a heads up that you're not slowly, but you're going like this. And it's not it needs to stop. Okay?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
See you Thursday. I will give you resources if you want them. But try to use them so you're not on the street anymore. So we'll give you resources.
Thank you, Judge. Okay, have a seat, sir. Everybody.
All right, everybody. That was a rough one there. I'm gonna throw up one that'll make you mad next. That way you don't have to be sad from that one. Got another one from Judge Fleischer today that was really interesting. Again, the chats were going off, so we really didn't get to see a lot of it. But this one's gonna make you mad. That way you can forget about this last one. Here you go.
Justin Davis. Is that you? Mr. Davis, you're charged with indecent exposure. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
The complainant was jogging at White Oak Bayou Park in Harris County, Texas, and the complainant observed the defendant naked and masturbating next to a pool located inside Stewart Park. The complainant could see the defendant's penis, which was an open view of anyone walking on the trail. The officers arrived and observed the defendant sitting near the pool without pants and underwear and continuing to masturbate.
All right, I'm gonna hit pause on that. I didn't get to see a lot of this one. I was trying to cut it up and get it ready for the show tonight. I saw the chat going crazy on it earlier. I guess it's a good time to give you a language warning. I thought Amanda would have given me a warning about it, but language warning, everybody. This guy's a creep. All right.
Currently registered as a sex offender. Can you see that now?
I can check, Your Honor. Your Honor, we can't find the information at this time. We'd have to make a call to the officer to find if he is registered. But at this time, we don't have the information.
Prior felony failures to register, you know? So what kind of conditions would you think? Michael?
Judge, I don't know the status of the housing of the defendant, but at this time, the state would ask for staying away from public places where children will go, like parks where the defendant was, staying away from schools, parks, public places, anywhere where children may go, is what I would ask.
How old are you, Mr. Davis?
41.
You're 41. What do you do for a living? So where do you live?
I live in a tent, my dog.
You live in the where?
In a tent.
He's homeless and lives in a tent.
I know, Judge.
And the problem is that this is not our first indecent exposure. This is not our first failure to register. So I'm going to appoint your lawyer today and I'm going to see where we're going because I don't know what conditions we can put to protect the public from you.
And the issue, Judge, is the underlying registered case is in indecency of a child from 2004. And that's why I'm harping on you staying away from children.
Okay, so we're going to have to do a deep dive on this. So
Yes, Judge.
I'm going to have you sign a receipt of Victoria and then I'm going to take you a seat in the jury box. Don't go anywhere, Mr. Davis, please.
Okay, no problem.
All right, go ahead and sign for your receipt.
Standards, conviction that the defendant has that requires him to register as a sex offender is called an attempted indecent liberties with a child case, and it's out of Kansas. When you look at chapter 62, which are the requirements for who needs to register and how, there's a definition in subsection 10 for what's called an extra jurisdictional registrant, which just means someone that's out of state that's been convicted. And the rule states that they just have to follow the out-of-state reporting standards. When I looked at the Kansas reporting standards, there's 3 requirements for sex offender registrations. It's 15 years, 25 years, or life. So because of this conviction, he has to at least register. The least amount is 15 years. Since it was from 2004, that means he's actively non-reporting and committing a state jail felony by not actively reporting, which
Well, I think it is, isn't it?
It would end in 2019, I think, correct? If it's
So what?
so then you're correct, Judge. It is a 3rd degree.
So failure to register as a sex offender is a 3rd degree, number
Yes,
one.
Judge.
I thought.
Yes,
think-
Judge. You're correct.
Is he required to register as a sex offender?
So that's the issue. So if it was from 2004 and then 15 years after that, my understanding from him is that his duty to register ended in 2019. So I don't know. Did you say it was 04?
Somewhere, right? I mean,
Right.
if he's been here, we have here as far back as 2009, there's an assault of a family member. We have failure to register as a sex offender 2 times in 09 and then in 11. So at a minimum, if he's registered at least 1 time, he should be in the sex offender registry. All that information should be in the registry as far as what his information is about. So if I pull up the registry now, which I'm going to try to.
I looked it up, Judge. I don't see his name anywhere. I don't see it at all when I look up his name.
And I believe it may be because this 15-year period ended. If the conviction was 04, then I think so 2019 would have been the ending point for that 15 years. which is what he's told me, that the 2019 was the end of the reporting requirement.
You have to understand, Mr. Davis, that I'm going to do everything in my power to protect every single person of Harris County. If you're supposed to register as a sex offender and you're not, I'm not giving you a PR bond because it shows me that you are willfully not following the law. And I have the right to find your bond insufficient to revoke it and raise it up. Now, I'm not going to go crazy, but I want to protect my public. And you're out there allegedly you've got this new indecent exposure. I see that you're a registered sex offender and that you potentially need to be, and you're committing felonies every single day that you're not registered. Now, if you can show me somehow that you're not supposed to register, then okay.
Judge, he had shown me something on his phone that had like the ending date. So I can check and see if that's something I can provide. The court.
I got to understand, I'm not going to take your word for it. I got to see some kind of proof. We have 2 failure to register as a sex offender, so he got punished for those. When he got out and when he completed the punishment, did he never go and register again? I mean, I got to imagine that the day you complete your sentence, you got to go register.
Well, they can't force you to, Judge. It's on you as the defendant to go
So
do your registration.
From 2011, no one has gone after to see if he's just.
When we called them, they said they haven't heard from the Morgan. When was the date that they were certified? The certification officers that are assigned to this defendant. I believe their name's Officer Cooper, that he's supposed to follow.
Spoke to them?
I spoke to Ms. Cooper. She's with the organization that, like, I guess they come to. So he is on her list of people that's supposed to be reporting.
So he is supposed to report.
She told me that he has not checked in since May of 2019, and I asked her if he's supposed to be checking in, and she said he's registered as homeless, he's supposed to check in every 30 days. And when I called back to speak to her about charges being filed, she transferred me to the compliance office.
And then what?
Filing a new charge for failure to register. So I'm not sure about the requirements of the reporting period, but they didn't mention anything to me about him not being supposed to register, if that makes sense.
Do you have her phone number?
Sorry?
Do you have her phone number now?
Yes, I have the phone number for the actual office, and then I had to ask for Ms. Cooper. So if you'd like, I can ask for her phone number directly and call her back.
I mean, because I have to imagine that if he wasn't supposed to register, if he had no duty, then she would have told you, no, he didn't have a duty, he didn't have to register. But you're telling me she told you that he was supposed to register and he hasn't been since 2019.
That is what she told me.
It's unacceptable. I mean, and because he's homeless, I don't find that I can protect the public because.
But Judge, the last thing we're trying to do at this point is trying to figure out what the reporting requirement is for the specific offense, because the larger offense.
Concern is, are you supposed to report or not? And if you are and you're not reporting, I have a problem with it. Right.
So I'm looking at it's offenderradar.com is kind of where he was looking it up, but I don't know. There's the state registry had the ending date of registration within 2019.
What is offenderradar.com?
I'm not sure, but it's what he was. That's what I got here. It says it's pulled from the Texas registry though. From that link, Texas registry.
Here, do you want to send that to him? To what that says is that the registration ending date was in 2019. But regardless, though, from 2011 to 2019, he still hasn't registered at all. I don't know.
Either way, Judge, the big issue here is there's all these sexually related offenses, and now he's doing it again in a public park where there's people congregated, families, children.
I get it.
Yeah.
Would you please call back and see, was he supposed to register or not? Would you please? And then, yeah. Mr. Davis, take a seat from the jury box, please.
Here's from the Texas Registry website. It does show any registration date is 5/6/19. Yes.
Hey, Judge.
Hey, Will.
Hey, Victoria asked me to come back on, I think on a new case I was appointed on today.
Give me 1 second. Let me check this out. Hold on.
No worries.
Texas sex offenders. Here you go, Josh. Josh, this says ending registration date and then in parentheses projected. So does that mean because he didn't register, it was told?
That everyone might be on their lunch break right now.
Of course. Everybody in their normal right minds is at lunch right now.
So I think the issue, I think the issue, Judge, is what you were saying is that I don't know if it tolls because it doesn't seem logical to me that you can just fail to report for years.
Right.
And then, yeah, I get you can get slapped with a felony charge, but it seems like they're.
It's not logical where you can just evade, right? Not register, and then the time lapses, and then, okay, everybody's just like.
Because there's been large stints of time where this defendant has not reported. He was verified in
I don't know if
2019.
that's true though. Because if it's a 15-year, I think the issue is we don't know if he had a 15-year or a 25-year.
No, but even then, I'm looking at because every time you report, you take you take a photo.
Right.
So I'm looking at multiple large stints of time where he did not report.
But the conviction was from 04, right?
Yeah, from 04.
I've seen where I've looked at certain people and it'll say lifetime registry, or it'll say how long they have to register. How come it doesn't say that?
I think because this is an out-of-state conviction, Judge, it's all we have is the code. We just have to follow the code, which says you just got to check their requirements. And we looked at the requirements. We're thinking it's a 15,
25.
We're thinking 25. We're thinking it's a 25 based off of what the Kansas statute is saying. Because it's
25 from the time of conviction.
from the time of conviction.
And this here, the conviction was
2004.
Which if it's showing the projected end date is 2019, it would make sense if it's 15, that 15-year period, it would have finished in 2019, I guess. Correct. Which is what he's saying, hey, they told me I'm done in 2019, 15 years after my conviction. And so that's why I haven't reported since then. And then I guess we just have to confirm it that obligation terminated.
Josh, the only thing I do know is that I don't want him to be a transient because I want to know where he is at all times, just like we would do to every single other person. Come up, Mr. Davis.
Today to see what we can do about confirming housing.
You know, on the, how old are you? How old? 41. 41. You know, on the sex offender registry, we can look at your picture and we can see what you look like from the time that you started your stint in the criminal justice system to how you look now. Holy moly. That's like one of the things you see on websites with like, if you do dope, this is what you're, I mean, it's just incredible. The way that the streets have taken over your life and the way that you are, it's really, really sad. And it, I feel for you at one point. I really do. But at the same time, it's of your own making. And you gotta ask yourself why. Why would someone do this? Why? The only thing I do know is that I want my streets safe at all costs. And I'm going to do everything in my power to protect it. And while you're transient, while you're out roaming, we can't put our hands on you. We have no idea where you're going. We have no idea what you're doing. So how am I supposed to monitor you while you're transient? I don't want you to be transient. I want you to have a home base. So I know if I need to find you, I know where you are. And that other people, specifically children, are protected. How do we do this?
There's, he has access to a place where he can charge things, I know, so I don't know if he might be able to do a GPS monitor.
How are you going to charge it? How are you going to, you need a home base.
That's not the library.
That's not a home base. But with what you're charged with, it scares me. And your history even more so scares me. I don't know what to do. I really don't. I mean, because I don't like to put people in jail, but I got to know that my streets are safe. And if I can't monitor you, then I can't have you out on bond.
Should we give us an opportunity to connect with a social worker to see?
Of course, take your time. I mean, it's already 1 o'clock. We got to kind of hurry, but I'm just
be able to roll till tomorrow.
Yeah, but I'm going to keep him because I'm not letting him go while he's transient. I'm not going to do it, Mr. I mean,
I have a dog to take care of.
You what?
Nobody to take care of her.
You have a what?
I have a dog.
Who's taking care of the dog now?
Right now, nobody. I had nobody to take care of her. I'm because when I got out, I've been taking care of her for the last 7 days when I got out of jail. I have nobody.
Just got a dog in 7 days.
No, I've had her for 2 years.
I don't know what to tell you, but
And I can't leave her. They just really don't want to leave her by herself at my campsite for 1 or 2.
Oh, but there are other people at the campsite, right?
No, just me. That's it. Just me and her. That's it.
You're going to leave a dog tied up in a campsite?
I leave her when I go places to charge, yes. She has a habit of biting people.
Oh, that's wonderful. I'm taking him now. We can roll it to tomorrow, see what you can do. But while you're transient, it's not going to happen because I can't monitor you. And that's what I want to do. So what I'm going to do is we'll find you a place for tomorrow so we can find you a home and a place to stay. And then I'm going to put a monitor on your ankle so I know where you are at all times. But until I know that you have a home base, no, I don't feel that the streets are protected, especially know that you might be, you have to potentially register as a sex offender. You've not been doing it for quite a while. I don't know this. So what we're going to do, we're going to do a lot of work while you're here. Number one, if you guys can reach out to the registry, see if he's still supposed to register. If so, for how long? Has it expired? And then let's regroup tomorrow. And then, I'm going to set your bond at $1,000. So I'm not, but I just find it wholly insufficient with too many variables and I can't track you. As soon as you get out of here, you're off and we'll never find you. And that's not what I want. You literally spiraled and you at 41, you look like you're 71 when life shouldn't be like this. If you can really, who do you have in your life? Why?
Most of my family just don't, nothing to do with me.
Why?
I don't know.
Do you think they would?
Talked to my mom, and she's really incapable of taking care.
Say it again?
My mom, but she's on disability. She really can't take care and help me out. And my father, he's in the Ambi home. I mean, really don't have that capability.
If we reach out to your mom, where's your mom now?
She's in Oakley, Kansas.
In Kansas. Where's dad? In
Kansas.
same in Kansas as well. If you reached out to them, do you think that they'd talk to you?
I do talk to my mom on a daily basis. I talk to her every day, but she just don't have the money to help me out, to take care.
We're gonna work on that for you. We're gonna try to find you some stable housing. We're gonna try to find you something to help
I've
you.
been trying to look at people at 59. Every time I try to find, even try to get housing from through Star of Hope, through other places.
We have resources for you to help you. Now that you're with us, we'll do everything. But I mean, believe it or not, I want to help you, Mr. Davis.
Been out here too long.
Huh?
Been way out here too long. I've been out here homeless for way too long.
Okay. You either gonna go back or you're gonna take our help and we're gonna get you out of this rut, one way or the other. But what you're doing now is not working, especially in light that you're picking up these charges. Okay? All right, so let's regroup tomorrow. He goes with you. Thanks.
What's the new bond amount?
Just 1,000. Or you know what? Just make it, what's it at now? 100? Just make it 250.
250?
Yeah.
My stuff's right there.
Well, that was a wild one there. He's right. He's been homeless way too long. He needs to be domesticated again. There was some discussion in there talking about any type of offense like that should be a lifetime offense. I'm kind of in the middle on that. As odd as it is, it's such a bad issue. I'm in the middle on it. And what I'm in the middle on it is, if you get charged with that, irregardless of the circumstances, you are all labeled the same thing. So you can be someone hurting children, or you can be somebody who was drunk at a party around a bunch of friends. And, you know, if you get labeled with that, it's one of the worst things you can get labeled with. But if you were 19 years old sleeping with someone that was 15 and you made a mistake when you were a kid, there should be penalties for that. You did something wrong, but it shouldn't be lifetime penalties. What this guy was doing and what this guy got arrested for, he needs to be gone away for a while. He's trouble. He certainly needs to be kept away. We can go down the list of he's got to wear special clothes. He needs to be marked. He needs to be this. He needs to be that. Anything that they can do to protect society from this guy, they need to do. Thank you so much for what. Oh, now that Victoria's here, we will go ahead and cut out the show for the day. You have a great night, Victoria. We got it set up for you. Tomorrow morning at 9:00 Central Time, Judge Fleischer is going to be back on, and I'm sure it'll be a relaxed day tomorrow. No need for anybody to worry about it. We'll see y'all tomorrow.